So here is the Byers house, unbuilt, of course, and pieces of wood I'm finding for free because wood is so expensive. The first thing we decided to build was the Byers house, and we reused this house that we used in 2020 for Charman's house, the Ghosts of Ojai. If you remember, Charman was in the doorway and the window was on fire. The only problem we had this time was it needed a roof, it needed to be extended, and we needed to build a living room inside. So we're building an actual mini replica of the Byers house. Unfortunately, we couldn't put the roof on. That's what we were talking about because of the tree, as you can see. Max, of course, thinks we built it for him, a giant doghouse. Next was to paint it. I used dry lock on the outside. I liked the dry lock because it also gave it a really cool stucco feel to it. It protects the wood as well. So I gave it about a couple coats and it actually applied very nicely. It was super easy to use and it didn't flake off all those little bumps that dry lock leaves behind. I had it tinted at Ace Hardware. I just got a 80s popular tint and painted it. The next thing we had to do is buy more wood to build those walls to extend the Byers house, and wood was expensive. So we went to our local, hardware store and got a ton of lumber, and then we loaded it in the back of my little tiny truck. We also got this cool cabinet for the inside of Byers house off Craigslist. Max, are you ready to build some flats? We have lots of work cut out for us. So I thought the wood was warped, so I went ahead and did it, but then I found out my sheet of plywood was bigger than 4 feet. So I have to trim it now, and I'm pissed. So I'm gonna measure these over here and make one more panel. So it's that hot out. So the Byers house is turning to be a little pain in the ass. Because of all these empty walls, I have to put new walls on. So this little piece I cut right now is for this side because I'm anal and I need to cover it. And then I had cut another piece for this side. And then I have curtains, the ugliest 80s curtains you could find, and that's actually going to cover my window. I just need to cover that open space, and then I could face this with all my wallpaper walls. And that's the inside of Byers house on that side. This side will be the couch and the ABC wall. I'm gonna paint some flats. You're gonna sit there and drink a beer. I'm gonna mix 3 old paints together to make one color to put on there. And look at what I found in this one. It's exciting.
Yeah, you film it?
I found something in there.
What'd you find?
An old paintbrush. One of those foam ones. So gross. Must be nice. I decided wallpaper was super expensive, and I'm doing the curtain, the lace curtain method for making wallpaper. If I was charging ticket prices or making money off my haunt, maybe I would have bought the Byers house wallpaper, but as you know, wallpaper is expensive, and this is a home haunt and I'm on a limited budget. and I'm going to use the method that I learned from Derek over at Van Oak Props, and I'll put the link in the description. I'm not going to show you how to do it because he probably can do it better than I can, but I am using his method. And then I found shelving contact paper. That's a wood grain. I bought enough of that, and I'm going to use that as my wainscoting. And I'm just going to do 4 walls, and that's going to be Byers' living room. I'm doing the best I can with what money I have, which is 0 right now because I went over my budget. This is the first time I've ever done this method, so I'm kind of excited. I got the critter gun, the same one that Derek uses, and I'm excited to try it out for the first time. 4 walls. I got to do 4 walls. I can do this. Here I go. So I just mixed up the paint a tad bit darker than what the original was. And then I'm actually going to go over it again with a pinkish color. It's honestly not that dark, but it gives it a little something that it didn't have before, and it's just enough. Once that dried, I got my contact paper out and I went ahead and measured it and pre-cut it to the lengths I needed for the wainscoting on the bottom half. I also used chair rails on the top to line it. Unfortunately, I didn't take pictures of that. Sorry about that. My advice, do not do this on a hot sunny day. They will bubble and fall off. I had to use extra adhesive for it. The walls are up, the structure, it's very sturdy. It's not going anywhere. I just need to finish facing all my walls with my wallpaper walls, hang up my curtains, add all the decorations, Christmas lights. Then we'll have to tarp the roof, which we're using a painter's tarp. And the Byers house should be done. Of course, we have to install a door, which my husband's going to do that. Hanging out in the Byers house. I can't wait.